This segment is brought to you by A.J. Doman Chevrolet. We say yes when others say no.
Hey everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. It's time to check in with Assumption Parish and the Assumption Parish Sheriff's offices. For that, we go to Commander Lonnie Cavalier, who fills us in. Lonnie, this is, at a time of year where things kind of slow down, but not in Assumption Parish as far as the Sheriff's office is concerned.
No, we've been very busy, Harry. Been very busy, so thanks for having us.
Let's start off with Mr. Holly, who you guys arrested for sex crimes with juvenile.
Yes, Cliven Michael Holly, 28 of 128 Alvin Street, Napoleonville, was arrested on felony sex crimes charges against juveniles. On March 26th, the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office was notified by a New Orleans area healthcare facility of two individuals, both female, who were being treated as victims of crimes of sexual nature. The investigation initiated by sheriff's detectives revealed that the two juveniles were transported from Lafourche Parish to a residence on Alvin Street in Assumption Parish, where the juveniles were in the company of three male subjects. At that time, all three male subjects allegedly engaged in sexual relations with the juveniles. Through investigation, detectives were able to identify Cliven Michael Holly as a suspect. A search warrant was executed at a residence on Alvin Street on Thursday, which was successful in obtaining information relative to identifying Cliven Michael Holly. Detectives arrested Cliven Michael Holly on July 31st, 2025, and booked him into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of felony carnal knowledge of a juvenile. Cliven Michael Holly remains incarcerated pending a bond hearing. This investigation is ongoing. The two juveniles involved could not be charged because of the age difference being less than 2 years, and that's in accordance with Louisiana law.
Right. So next one was your ICE division. It's of course on the roadways, and they made a stop and started working with another agency as well.
Yes, Andre Cozy Jr., 27 of 5650 Summerall Drive, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was arrested on a felony fugitive warrant following a traffic stop on Highway 308 north of Laverdville. A uniformed patrol deputy assigned to the ICE detail observed the vehicle traveling northbound with an equipment violation. The deputy initiated a stop of that vehicle and made contact with the driver, now identified as Jeffrey Andre Cozy Jr., and engaged Cozy in an officer violator interview. The deputy conducted a records check and determined that Cozy was wanted by the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office on warrants charging him with failure to appear on drug gun law violations and a probation review. Jeffrey Andre Cozy was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of failure to appear in court on July 1st, 2025 in East Baton Rouge Parish for a probation review on charges of distribution, manufacture of a Schedule I drug, possession with intent to distribute Schedule II, Schedule III, and Schedule IV drugs, illegal carrying of weapons in the presence of controlled dangerous substances. Jeffrey Andre Cozy Jr. has been transferred to the custody of the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office.
So the next one has a couple of different names, and it just started with a disturbance, but it ended up being a little bit more because of some circumstances. Probably could have helped himself by being honest right away.
Yes, Patricia Wesley, 58, also known as Joseph W. Manuel of 198 Bayou Tranquille, Pierre Park, was arrested on charges arising from a disturbance complaint at the aforementioned address. Deputies responded and made contact with the complainant, who advised that he was engaged in a confrontation with an individual now identified as Patricia Wesley, also known as Joseph W. Manuel. During the incident, Wesley allegedly placed a knife to the throat of the complainant, threatening to stab him and further threatened to shoot him and burn his home down. Based upon information obtained from a witness as well as the complainant, deputies arrested Patricia Wesley and booked him into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of aggravated assault with a dangerous weapon, simple battery, and resisting an officer of 2 counts. He remains incarcerated with bond set at $20,000.
Okay, and then we have an assault here off a residence, and also Mr. Charles was arrested.
Yes, Kenyatta Darrell Charles Jr., 29, 116 Charles Street, Napoleonville, was arrested on felony domestic charges arising from an incident at a residence off of Highway 401. a uniformed patrol deputy assigned to the ICE detail responded to a domestic disturbance and made contact with the complainant as well as one witness who advised that Kenyatta Darrell Charles Jr. and the complainant and Charles were engaged in an argument, at which time he struck her and attempted to strangle her. Kenyatta Darrell Charles had departed the scene prior to deputy's arrival. At the conclusion of the investigation, based on information obtained through the interviewing of all parties, deputies arrested Kenyatta Darrell Charles Jr. and booked him into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of domestic abuse battery involving strangulation. Kenyatta Darrell Charles remains incarcerated with his bond set at $50,000.
Okay, and we have one more, but I'm not sure we have time for that one, Lonnie. Can we just finish up by talking about the summer as school is about to start? I guess people have to be a little more cautious in the mornings and afternoon as school buses start rolling.
Yes, we actually put a message out on yesterday, saying school was beginning here on Thursday. Some of those kids attend on Thursday and some on Friday. But we expect the highways to be cluttered early in the morning and in the afternoon. We're adding additional patrols. We're going to also have all of our school resource officers and school zone deputies, managing traffic and managing the intake and exit of the kids on the first couple of days and see how that all works out. We just ask the public to be cautious of, buses picking up children, buses dropping off children. Remember that yellow means caution and red means stop.
Yeah. All right. A great lesson as school gets started. Thank you very much for the update, Lonnie.
Thanks, Harry, for having us.
All right. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.
This segment was brought to you by A.J. Doman Chevrolet. We say yes when others say no.